You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Young and the Restless fans. It's Soap Dirt on YouTube. We want to talk about two upcoming couple splits that seem to be in the works. There's no official spoiler yet that these couples are breaking up, but the groundwork is there. You've probably seen it, and we're going to talk to you about it in just a second. But if you haven't already, reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Young and the Restless spoilers and casting news and all the good stuff you need to know. All right, two couple breakups seem to be looming. Let's talk about the first one. The first one, Nick Newman and Sally Spectra. Now, we already knew that a lot of people are definitely shipping Adam Newman with Sally Spectra, especially since he is the father of her unborn child. And a lot of people would like to see the couple they call Allie as their smush name back together, but Sally has been sticking with Nick Newman. However, Nick is extremely distracted these days, and it's understandable. So later this week on Y&R, Nick finally comes back to Sally's room at the GCAC, and he explains to her why he's been MIA. He tells her all about Cameron Kirsten and about Faith Newman's dead cat and the danger that this guy poses. Then he's going to be truly stunned to find out that Sally actually met Cameron in the park. She doesn't think that he knew that she was involved with Nick, but with Cameron, you never know. She just says that she was struggling and that he was nice to her, but he warns her to stay away from the guy. But then Nick tells her at the same time he can't stay there with her, even though she's not feeling well. She's having pregnancy issues. She's got high blood pressure. She's facing this preeclampsia diagnosis. Her pregnancy has now moved into high risk. And if you remember, when he told her finally, after them dating for so long, that he loves her, he promised to always be there for her and the baby. And then just a few days later, and he's not there anymore. So Sally's trying to be understanding, but this is stressful and scary. She's pregnant and basically alone, except that Adam Newman is really stepping up to the plate. So after Nick leaves Sally at her hotel room at the GCAC, he runs into his brother, Adam Newman, downstairs. And Adam is there because he brought a blood pressure monitor for Sally so that they can keep an eye on her preeclampsia. And Adam and Nick are having a talk. Nick tells him about Cameron. He gives him the rundown like he did for Sally. And he asks his brother to please watch out for Sally on his behalf. Adam, of course, is happy to do that because if Nick is not around, then Adam has time to ingratiate himself further with the woman he loves and wants to marry. Adam agrees that Sally doesn't need any more stress given what's going on with her pregnancy, but he also takes the chance to dig into Nick about him choosing Sharon over Sally already. And Nick is doing that. It's understandable though. Sharon's the mother of his children. They have a long history and she is in danger. At the same time, there are police. The Newman Ranch has lots of security, but Nick won't have any peace of mind unless he's personally protecting her. But then that leaves Sally unprotected, and it also leaves Sally without somebody there for her when she is undergoing serious medical complications. So after Adam says Nick has picked someone else over Sally, Nick gets his panties all in a bunch, as Nick Newman does, and he storms off. And then Adam heads upstairs to spend time with Sally, and she wants to know if Nick asked him to come by. And of course, Adam's going to tell her, no, I was already on the way, and here's your blood pressure cuff. I brought you a gift. So, and then she's wondering if he's busy, but Adam says he has nowhere else to be but right there with her, supporting her. So, Nick and Sally on the rocks. I think it is definitely going to happen. I think we all knew they weren't going to last, but this plot with Cameron is going to pull Nick into Sharon's orbit, and it's going to leave a gaping hole in Sally Spectra's life that Adam is more than happy to fill because he loves that redhead. He's excited about their baby daughter, and he wants to be with her. So Nick and Sally split. Certainly looks like it, but it doesn't seem like she'll be lonely for long once it happens. All right, the second split we want to to talk about on Young and the Restless is Kyle Abbott and Summer Newman. So also late this week, we have Kyle Abbott extremely frustrated. He knows that Summer has been lying to him, that Summer was willing to let his mom go to prison for years because of this sketchy, lying, dishonest plot that her mom, Phyllis Summers, engaged in. And the bottom line is Summer says she feels bad about it, but she's continuing on with the same behaviors. So Kyle spends some time talking to his good friend Mariah Copeland, and he unpacks all this for her, and he and Mariah are sitting in the park, and he's telling her all this stuff that, Summer has done recently. And Mariah's attitude is dump her. Mariah's never been a fan of hers. But Kyle, he wants her advice, and he gives her all the information so that she can give it to him. And Mariah's like, I don't really think you want me to tell you the truth. And he's like, no, tell me. And Mariah just says that, Summer's not trustworthy, that she doesn't trust her. She never will. And she thinks the best thing he can do is to walk away from the woman. She says that she has tried to see some good in Summer, but she just can't. The Summer Newman we have now is vastly different from the Summer Newman played by Hunter King, who was definitely much more of a schemer, who gave a chunk of her liver to his then lover, Lola Rosales, but only in exchange for Kyle marrying her, which is a very mercenary and terrible thing to do. And Kyle does remind Mariah that he and Harrison and Summer were happy in Italy, but she reminds him, this is not Italy anymore. You're here and this is your life. And he just didn't think that Summer would do something like this to him or to his mom, because she knows how happy he is to have his mom back in his life. Diane Jenkins faked her own death, and she was gone out of Kyle's life for a couple of decades, which was terrible and hurtful, but he's got her back now, and it means so much to him. And Summer knows how much it means to him to have his mom back in his life, but she was willing to sell his mom down the river, which means his mom would have been back out of his life and also gone from Harrison's life. Those are the things that he can't get past. It's not just that Summer lied, it's that Summer lied and was scheming with her mother in a plot that could have ripped his mom away from him all over again, which would have been heartbreaking for both Kyle and Harrison. But Summer, she just kept doing it. She kept doing what Phyllis said, and she kept putting her mom first. And not just first before Diane. I mean, it's easy to understand picking your mom versus your husband's mom, but picking her mom over her marriage and over the son she's raising with Kyle, that's what she did. And that is a very big deal. Mariah tells Kyle that she thinks that Summer has broken his heart and that it's not retrievable. And she also, and maybe jokingly, will tell him that they can't be friends if he sticks with Summer because it's just a bad choice to keep her around. She also says that she thinks both Summer and Phyllis are dangerous. So after talking to Mariah, Kyle is going to run into Chance Chancellor, and he's going to tell him that Phyllis is hiding out at the GCAC. So Kyle rats out Summer's mom. That seems like a deal breaker. She's going to be upset about it. However, Summer kind of had an inkling that that's something he might do. So while he's talking to Chance, she is racing over to her mom to get her mom to leave the room at the GCAC. So by the time that Kyle and Chance get there, the room is empty, and Kyle has to know that Summer did this, that she is full on aiding and abetting her mother. I mean, it was one thing to kind of lie and not know where Phyllis is, but she knew where Phyllis is. And even worse now, she has moved Phyllis from location A to location B. There is no doubt she's aiding and abetting. And not only is she aiding and abetting her mother, she's aiding and abetting the end of her marriage. I don't see how Kyle and Summer are going to work through this, but we'll talk about that more in just a second. If you haven't already, reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Young and the Restless spoilers and casting news. Meanwhile, this I think is going to be the second upcoming split. I think Kyle and Summer are going to be hitting the skids on the rocks, broken up before Sally and Nick break up. I mean, I don't think Sally and Nick are actually going to break up until Nick crosses that line that he always crosses. You know, Nick's, he's adorable. He's handsome. He's sweet. He's a lot of things. He's also a repeat offender cheater. He cheats. He bounces back to Sharon. He will cheat with Phyllis. He has got a cheating streak, even though he seems like this white knight sweet guy. And I do think that some of the life and death action that's coming with Sharon and Nick could lead them to the bedroom, if not at least into kissing or cuddling or something that Sally could see or find out about. But I definitely think we've got these two breakups coming. What do you think? Who will you be more upset about the breakup? Kyle and Summer or Nick and Sally? Let us know in the comments.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.